Hello everyone, I am the Mystical Wolf, and this video is going to be a little bit different. I had a theory about where the game is going to go over 2 years ago, November 2018. Imperia Part 2 came out. This was before Imperia Part 2 was revealed. My theory was from what the end of Imperia would be and where the 4th story arc will go, along with a few ideas about how things are going to work, and just all around where this game might go. And I know it's weird saying all this stuff now because it's already happened, and I'm going to say that, oh, I was right, even though there's no actual proof. I got a few friends that I told this many years ago that could probably vouch for me, but honestly at this point, it's not worth it. So, my theory, keep in mind, was only after the Medulla fight. Nothing else had been revealed, nothing had come out yet. My theory is that someone we knew would be the evil final villain at the end of Imperia Part 2, and that the Cabal would escape without us ever knowing. And, well, that happened. Someone we knew, Grandmother Raven and Grandfather Spider, albeit they weren't exactly the final boss, but they kinda were? Anyway, the Cabal did escape, as we had to fight a final boss of somebody we knew. To an extent, like, it wasn't exact, but it happened. All of this just got me worried that my theory was right. After that, we would go to a new spiral, because Imperia was said to be the furthest world of this spiral. We even had to go and get a special pilot just to get us there. Granted, he didn't do it great, but he did. My idea was that we'd go to a new spiral, our home spiral. The Arcanum obviously has ways to reach out, and my idea was that we were going to have a few new worlds here in this 4th story arc, as well as have to go back to some of our own to dig up the history and, learn more about what's really happening with this Cabal and everything. And right there, I got another thing right. The catacombs under Wizard City. There's prisoners there that are from all kinds of places, and they even have teleports to go and fight these certain things from other worlds, Avalon, Valencia, and the edge of the spiral, which is even obviously further than Imperia. Somehow, we already had all of this there with us, and it makes things a little more confusing as to how this is actually going to work. It's a little scary that we had all this underneath our feet the entire time. So we go to this new spiral, and we discover that the Cabal has started infecting this new spiral with shadow magic. Velma teams up with us to try to learn more and calm down these shadows, to show that shadow magic is for good. She teaches us how to craft our own spells, and gives us the Shadow Blade, Shadow Trap, and Shadow Shield, for us to learn more about how shadow magic works and all that sort of stuff, to try and make it more of an actual type for us to work with. Well, right there, I kinda got something else right. Crafting our own spells. Spellements came out. Although they had no story or anything with it, it's just, poof, here you go. And honestly, it could be done a little better, but still, it's rather amazing that somehow something else that I had thought of came true. And it honestly made me worried that there was more to my theory that was going to become true. Velma accidentally winds up working with the Cabal without ever knowing. I'm not sure how that'd work, but that was just my theory. And she winds up dying doing what she loves, leaving behind spells and her most recent shadow capture. In our attempts to save this new spiral from the Cabal and what they're doing, the Cabal has made it look like that we're the bad guy, to make us have to fight for ourselves in every way, both bad and good. We'd have to prove ourselves to this new spiral, to these new worlds. This creates a really interesting idea, in my opinion, that would be really fun for us to work with. That we aren't the good guy in this new spiral. Well, we are, obviously, but not to them. And it's going to make things rather difficult. And at one point, I had an idea that we'd be stripped of our shadow magic and we'd have to fight our own shadow to get it back. Probably a solo instance fight. It'd be interesting. It was an idea. I don't know exactly how it worked. We wouldn't be able to use our shadow spells, and we'd have to fight it. And what it would do is, it would do the exact same spell that we do every round. Meaning we'd be full on fighting ourselves. Every crit, everything. The only thing is that you always are guaranteed to go first, which means you always get the kill. You know, it's rigged just enough to make sure that you'd win. But if you don't know what you're doing, it'd be a very scary fight, and I thought myself that would be rather fun to play with. I also had the idea of new spells that we would get. It'd be more of an industrial world that we'd go to next, probably, and it'd be like industry versus nature spells. These spells would not be just your own typing. The ice spell, it also does death damage. Fire also does life. Storm does myth, and so on and so on. I have them all written down here, and I'll probably make a separate video on what these spells can do. But to give you an example, I'll give you the storm spell. The storm myth spell. The drains beneath. It's a massive storm that showers a city street, and a twister comes flying through and blasting every target with storm damage. Then the sewers start to overflow, and a massive gator bursts out from beneath and stares down all targets and then sweeping them with its tail. Every single one of these spells has something special to go with it. They're all very unique in my opinion. And yes, I know it sounds a little odd because balance does multiple typed based hits. This gives every class that sort of thing. It's a 1 spell, it's a 6 pip, 2 shadow pip AoE spell. You know, they aren't all that amazing, and some of them are single hit with AoE as the second hit. They're odd, they have an odd function, but I think they would be rather amazing. Again, these are just spell ideas, and I'll save that for another video. Honestly, that's about where I ended the theory until I had a dream one night about a fight. It was in this world, it was kind of industrial, but we were in a forest part of it, and it was very vibrant. Like there was so many different colors. It was like a bag of candy, if that makes any sense. And there was so many different colors, none of it really made much sense, but it was an odd looking forest. But the boss was just a deer that was taken over by the Cabal. Like it was basically a resident of the forest succumbed to shadow from the Cabal. And it didn't want to fight us, but we had to because the Cabal part of it attacks. And there will be cheats where it says, "Save us, we need your help." But then the Cabal shadow will retort, "There's no saving them. You can't help them. They're all gone." You know, something like that. I know it's scary sounding, but Wizards has had their moments of scary. The catacombs. So that dream kinda freaked me out after Caramel was revealed. A candy place, you know, colors that don't make sense, wild forests and stuff like that would be like made out of candy or something. I don't know, industrial versus nature. It's all just kind of coming together really weirdly in my opinion, and I don't know exactly how this is going to work. But, well, we'll see when Caramel comes out, I guess. If I was right again. And maybe that will validate me. Yay! So that's about all I got for this theory video, and hopefully you liked it, and look forward to that video coming soon with the spells. I'm actually really excited to try and share what I had in mind. I know it's 2 shadow pips and 6 regular pips, that's already asking a lot, but we need to go somewhere, don't we? Good night.